I'm trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. I'm always right. I'm always right. It's been a long day, I mean a long week, maybe a long year, so let's get something clear. We're gonna stock up on some party favors later on. Tell everybody they're invited, you should come along. Best to bring your good foot, ladies gonna be dancing on the ceiling. Cocky and appealing, possibly revealing, getting sideways like a bridesmaid as she vibrate. If you a lightweight, hope you hydrate. We gon' tip the bottles back, busting out the fat sacks. People wearing costumes, chewing on a mushroom, something like a wonderland. Understand? Going down the rabbit hole with my kinfolk to another land. Damn, I said we do it like this. Magic carpet riders on some third eye shit. Mr. Pine Cones come a long, long way, so everybody get sideways. Sing it. I can't wait till Friday. Everybody's getting sideways. Pass the bottle back my way. Everybody's getting sideways.
What is going on, believers? Guys, this is an early edition of Bedtime with Beliefs. I guess it's not bedtime yet, but guess what? Guess what? Elon Musk is a paper-handed Jeet. Elon Musk is a paper-handed Jeet. Not only is he a paper-handed Jeet, he can't invest worth of shit. He's lucky that he has a board around him. The whole thing is just capsizing around everybody right now. Let me show. You are not going to believe some of the stuff that's going on right now concerning Elon Musk. A Jeet is a person who paper hands like a little hoe and sells. That's what they do. Now, you can see right here, Bitcoin price is, and we're going to move over here because we're looking at hourly, by the way. The Bitcoin price right now is 23,124. Ethereum price is 1573. Now, what we've got going on right now is the Korean market has woken up. You can see the dollar value going and moving around just a little bit. But you can see here the Korean exchange is now active, and we can see the price is moving. It's going down just a little bit. You see it moving slowly but surely. Hopefully, it's going to go up for the day because the Dow ended up 162 points up and 4% on the SPY up. But the big news of the day is that, so this is the greatest part. Like this is the greatest part, right? Elon Musk told everybody who would listen that Tesla has diamond hands. And you can go through here, and there's plenty of hilarious stuff, right? Credit to our master coin. Tesla's got diamond hands. This guy, Bart Baker, by the way, is I'm partnered with him on WagMe. He's a funny guy. F you, bro. You said buy Doge. It's trash. I lost 150K. And just going off, just going crazy. Peter Schiff gets in on it. And you know, cry babies unite. Everybody, everybody is getting involved in the Elon game because it was all fun and games way back when we were talking about how great Bitcoin was, how great Dogecoin was, at blah 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 blah. Well, then this guy, the guy on the left, by the way, not the guy on the right. On May 18th, then said, in the past, I voted Democrat because they were mostly the kindness party because it's about kindness. But they have become the party of division and hate, so I can no longer support them and will vote Republican. Now, watch their dirty tricks campaign against me unfold. Now, I don't know anything about dirty tricks. I don't know anything about, by the way, remember, Elon is the guy here on the left, not the one on the right, even though they do look the same. He's not that one. He's the guy on the other side. Now, Elon sold 75% of the Tesla holdings of Bitcoin. When did Elon? First of all, here's what we need to know. Here's what we need to know. What was the dollar cost average of Bitcoin when the great and mighty Elon Musk said that he was diamond-handed and that he's an investor? And what was the price? Well, the answer to that, it turns out, is 31,338. That was the price that Elon you go to the Tesla earnings sheet over here. There are some photos where you can see the Tesla earnings sheets, by the way. All right, so this is the audit right here. This is the quarter two. This is you can see here there's a total revenue is 16 billion. This is in millions, so 16,000. So we're talking about 16 billions. They're giving a lot. They're talking about the important thing is like cash on hand, stuff like that. Now, so they sold their Bitcoin. Their Bitcoin, by the way, dollar cost averaged at $31,338. Do you want to know when they sold their Bitcoin? They sold their Bitcoin on June the 13th. So that would mean that the maximum amount that they sold their Bitcoin for is 28,520, which means that they lost at least 10% of the value of 75% of their Bitcoin holdings because they Jeeted out and they sold early. And the end result, and guys, look, this is, to me, this is hilarious because what we're watching here is a meltdown right now. We went from buying Twitter to trying to get out of buying Twitter by saying that there's a conspiracy with bots, and now we don't want to pay the $1 billion, and now we're countersuing because Twitter has sued. Now we've also said I hate Democrats. Now I'm only going to vote Republican. Now I need to have cash on hand. There is a conference call. In the conference call with Tesla, Elon said the reason that he sold 75% of his Bitcoin holdings was so that they had cash on hand. By the way, they have cash on hand. $17 billion is what they have in cash on hand. When you get down, here we go. Cash and cash equivalents, 18,324. Sorry about that. It's a little bit higher this quarter. So right here, that's how much cash they have on hand. 18,324 million. So they liquidated their Bitcoin holdings for that purpose. Because they were nervous that the Chinese markets might not be recovering quickly enough, so they needed to have $18 billion. $17 billion was not enough. 17,400 million was just not enough. So this is what's happening, and we are watching. We are watching the spiral of a man. And then, listen, vote Republican. Nobody gives a shit. Vote Republican. It really doesn't matter. If you think that the Democrats are out to get you and they're spooky ooky, maybe they are. Who knows? I mean, you're Elon Musk, right? You're the free speech guy. You know, the guy that's going to buy Twitter and save everything. Wait, you're not buying Twitter anymore. And they gave you the price that you wanted because now there's all these bots that are making. Look, we're watching the spiral right now of a man who is making mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. And I don't know how this ends. I'm really curious to see how this whole thing plays out and how this whole thing ends, because from what I see right now, we're just watching the downfall of a once really profitable guru of sorts. And maybe, just maybe, in the next couple days, we're going to see the rise of Elon Musk. Maybe we're going to see something entirely different. It's entirely possible that everything stops on a dime and he says, oh yeah, I was being held by some crazy people at gunpoint and I just had to like make up weird stuff all the time. And that's the reason that I went crazy and started doing all this weird stuff. So that is the way I see it. I think that's the only real excuse that I have at this point, because in fairness, when you look at his Twitter and you start looking at the things that he posts, he's having fun. He seems to be aware, but for some reason, for some incredible reason, he just lost his company 75% of 936, and they sold, losing 3,000 per token would mean that their losses in that regard at 3,000, 10%, like they lost over $100 million. He lost his company over $100 million on that play alone. So, I just don't know. I don't know what positive you can pull out of it at this point with this Elon guy. Elon, by the way, is the guy over here on the left. This is Elon. If you can't tell the difference, this one is Elon. This one is not Elon, even though they look alike. I can't help myself but say I can't help myself on this one because these Elon memes have been just absolutely hilarious for the last couple days. And the fact that, look, it's okay for you to have diamond hands. It's okay for you to not have diamond hands. Either way, it's okay. You're an investor. You have a right to take your profit. You have a right to do whatever it is that you want to do because you are able to do that. That's what a capitalist society, that's what the economy is all about. You can take your profit whenever you want to take your profit. You can sell whenever you want to sell. But when you just do this and you're telling people that you have diamond hands and you're just getting into the culture, like that leaves a bad taste in at least my mouth, if not everybody else. If you just say, yeah, he's just playing, you're just making excuses, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, come on, man, you're better than this. And here's the grossest part. The grossest part is right here. Why is he tweeting from an iPhone and not a Tesla phone? When do we get the Tesla phone? Because I'm going to be one of the first adopters of that. I'm going to get one as soon as it comes out. Like I still believe in Tesla. I still believe in the in electric cars. I believe in all of that stuff. So I think that Elon has fallen upon some really weird times, and I think that in a sad sort of irony, he is absolutely right about the Democratic, the liberal leaning media is definitely out to get him, because for many years he stood silently by and just kind of towed the line with whatever they wanted, because he believed in climate change. He believed in, he was leaning into his audience. Well, now he didn't have to lean into this audience anymore, because they are getting progressively crazier. And even though the right's getting progressively crazier, the middle tends to be aligned more with Republicans right now. So I think he made a good play by moving in the direction. I don't think he really moved, by the way. I think he just, I think things are just getting weird in this world right now. And he has always been weird. And we're just finding out right now that he's not who we thought he was when it comes to investment. And again, that's fine. But dude, don't talk the talk if you can't walk the walk. And I say that not having $230 billion. So I don't have $230 billion. So if he ever took the time to come at me and say, yeah, but I have $230 billion. Okay, fair enough. You win the argument. But until you come to me and win that argument, I can still talk all the shit that I want, right? It's America. F yeah. But anyway, so getting back to like real prices and stuff like that, the South Korean market is up on the day. We're starting to see a little bit of a pump, it seems like. The 5 minutes had what we normally see right here. Again, we always see this. We always talk about this. The red at 6:30 is basically the South Korean market, the people that are taking their profit. I did put up levels of resistance now, so you guys can see like those levels of resistance. They pop up and they kind of flow around a little bit on different lines. You'll see them move in and out of these spaces from time to time. They're actually dynamic, so you're not seeing specific lines. You will see them disappear from time to time as the numbers, just like you see the buy and sell when I do the chandeliers. It's the same. It's basically the same purpose in the same situation. Like you're going to see that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's really just been. It's just like, man, this stuff is just weird. It's just weird, right? I think he is too. I think he is again. Like I like making fun of him because he's got $230 billion. And look, if he doesn't like my jokes, okay, throw a couple $1 million at me. I'll shut up. You know what I mean? It's worth it. But anyway, what's going on, Jay? I appreciate you tuning in. I tried to do this a little bit earlier today. Just wanted to kind of get my, maybe just change some times a little bit. Step into a different area here. I don't know if it changes any kind of algorithm. I don't know if it's, I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's happening in this space right now. So I know that there's a Volt NFT launch and Volta change, and I only know that because I just looked it up just now and thought, oh shit, I'm in Jake's time slot. I should probably not be in Jake's time slot. So, but we're not going to talk about Volt. We're not going to talk about anything right now. We're just going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about Elon. We're going to talk about how this market is. We're just going to kind of watch the market and just chill and check things out. So anyway, on to this Mt. Gox thing. As these people are getting their, as they're getting their Bitcoin out of this thing, I think it's going to be crazy. Like I think it's just going to be absolutely bonkers how this thing plays out. But I also, I don't think that we're going down nearly as much as what we tend to think. Like the more I keep watching this market, the more I feel like so many things have just been kind of baked in right now that it's getting kind of crazy. And yeah, I'm stoked about the Phantom Project too, guys. If you didn't watch the Phantom Project, by the way, if you're not invested in, you don't have any interest, of course, don't go look at it. But if you do have some interest in it, then I did do a video today where we talk at length about it, and I do show you some of the inner workings of that project, where you can see they're still in black and white. They're not colored, by the way. I could have messed around with them and gave them some color and stuff like that, but we just wanted to. They're just so you can see it. There is a working and functioning prototype, and there is the mock-up, and the mock-up allows you to do that stuff too. Like you can actually get in there and play with it and see what's going on. So it's pretty sweet. Like it is pretty sweet. Do you think projects like Volt Inu would be willing to walk the walk and move their community over to the Phantom Project versus a Telegram? Absolutely. Absolutely. There's nothing special about Telegram. So here's the thing with Phantom Project. Like, again, one of the things that we talked about, one of the build outs that I've been pushing for and that I pushed for was, what if you had like an identifier where you could put a smart contract and you could, buy, like, let's say an NFT. Let's just say there's an NFT market on there, and you could buy an NFT that allows you in your like little private chat. Like, let's say there's a Believes crypto chat. Well, I could have a Bitcoin like chandelier update, so that every time we go to chandelier over here, every time it says there's a buy signal, it will say based on Ethereum or based on Bitcoin or based on whatever one we do, it'll say Ethereum has minted a buy signal or Ethereum has minted a sell signal. You know what I mean? Like if we're covering one of those, if that's the one that we want to focus on, then we could get some kind of thing in our chat that says that we've minted a buy or sell candle. And so that would be kind of cool. Like I think that would be awesome, really. So, and by the way, I keep changing this ATR from 4 to 1.2, and I don't know why it won't stick anymore, but like I cannot get this thing to stick at any point. it just seems to keep moving and keep moving and keep moving. And I know that my screen is starting to get more and more complicated and more indicators, but like I'm moving through indicators right now, just trying to find something, give you guys, all I'm trying to do right now is give you guys the best information, because I don't want you to get wrecked. I don't want to get wrecked myself, but I don't want you to get wrecked. I could afford to get wrecked on some of these plays. You know what I mean? Like if they don't pan out, they don't pan out. I'll be fine. But for you guys, it's important that I can provide you with as much information as possible. So I have spent a lot of time just continuing to learn different indices and different ways of reading charts so that we can get an idea of what's going on, how it's going on, and if there's any moves or plays that we can make in the meantime that might help or anything like that. So, at this point, by the way, I've heard enough evidence to convince me that we're about to go on a big time run. Like I think that anything that you've been watching, or any time you watch and you start seeing, like, let's look at the hour chart over here and let's kind of zoom this around here. This is the exact correction you wanted to have that played out onto this. There's kind of a triangle formation here with a flat top, and it just bounced through that flat top. Now we're looking at two different indices, by the way. So when I say that, what we're talking about right here is, let's say that we're going, again, we're going to do right here, and we're just going to do this on the outside just a little bit so that it doesn't interfere too much with what we're already doing here. So we're going to change that to, we're going to change it to orange. Yeah, we're going to change it to orange. Then we're going to make it a little bit thicker. And I think that might do it right there. Yeah, that looks good. So we're going to do this, and we're going to pull this out here, and we're going to kind of give you an idea here. We're just going to go along there. And now we're going to take another line, and we're going to put the line across the tops where we're hitting tops. And we're hitting tops like right here and right here. And then let's call it over here. So this formation is actually playing out as well, where we're hitting it here, we're hitting it here, and we're hitting it here. You see here, it went a little bit over, but it just stayed over by a second. And then this is where we bounced off on our resistance, and this is where we should have bounced off on the resistance. So, what you're seeing is this triangle forming, and we're bouncing off of that support line right there, which means that we're headed back up. Now, if we're bouncing off that support line and we're continuing to move this thing towards an upside, then, it stands to reason that we've got another 24, 25, maybe even 26 that's coming if we get a little bit of momentum behind us. And really all it takes is, again, just a little bit of momentum, and then we're going to see Bitcoin start to make some serious moves. And there are a lot of people at this point that are starting to point right here at 28,000 as the play that we're going to see Bitcoin get here in the next couple of days. And we're not looking at slow moving either. We're looking at this thing going like this. So we'll see a little bit of correction in the meantime along here, but we're not going to see very much correction in the long term. We're going to see this thing rocketing up and testing this entire area. So that's what I keep getting. That's what I keep seeing as we're doing all these. So, I get a feeling that, this shit is about to blow. You know what I mean? Like, I think we're about to get on just one of those runs that I think we all need one. And this plays out for a long time. And I don't know that this is going to have anything to do, by the way, with how the whole market plays out over time. Just for full disclosure, I'm not sure that plays out that way. I got to get used to using that. The undo, by the way, when I'm drawing. Like, I haven't. And by the way, since I've been doing more indices and more of these things, and I'm looking at like trying to get a deeper look so that I can inform you guys better about what I'm seeing in the market, the more I get into it, the more complicated this whole thing looks. Like, this is the most complicated nuts thing that I've ever actually understood 100% right now. So it's absolutely crazy. When I see people doing this, the first thing that I ever said about anybody that I've seen with a chart that's drawn out like this, that looks like this, is like, you goddamn snob. You know what I mean? Like that's exactly what I feel like. And by the way, when we're talking about this here, we're talking about 2,200 because it's going to move the same way. Like and by the way, here's something for you to consider right now. We are so far outside the channel right now, and we have gone up so parabolically by comparison to where Bitcoin is going. Consider that we're going to continue to do that, and that direction is like this right here. So that puts us at least 2,200, maybe even 23, 24, 25, or 26 by the time we get through here to the 28th. And then we might not even see the dip that we think that we're going to see on the 28th. A lot of people are starting to look at their indices and say that, you know, we all think that the bottom is not in yet, but what if it's in? Or what if it's not as low as we think it is? Like, you know, what if 879.80 right here, what if that was it? I mean, think about it all the way through. Think about the amount of adoption. And listen, I did hear Frankie Candles this evening was talking about mass adoption, and I think what he said was mass adoption is not as widespread as it sounds like when like we're all talking and we're saying that we see mass adoption happening. Like we're not seeing it the same way. So you know, maybe there isn't mass adoption of the nature that that we think of. Like in my mind, when I say mass adoption, then I think what that means is everybody's using Bitcoin, or a lot of people are using Bitcoin, and people are using Bitcoin right now as a store of value. They're not using Bitcoin as anything other than that right now. And if that's the case, then where is that mass adoption? And that's exactly what he was saying, is where is that mass adoption? Because look, you can't, like, I can't walk into a store and I can't say, give me a cheeseburger, fries, and a Coke. And they say, yeah, that'll be, you know, $10, $15, whatever the price is. And then all of a sudden, you just like hand them your phone, or you just tap with your phone and you pay with Bitcoin. Like, it doesn't work that way yet. So when we say mass adoption, we're not really talking about mass adoption in the same way. So that's what we're kind of looking at. And yeah, this is Ethereum right now. And like I said, Maddie B, like I'm kind of complicating these things because I'm looking at all these different indices. We're looking at, like, right now, this is the bounce point. This predicted that we were going to bounce at 1463 right here. And son of a bitch, if we didn't bounce at 1463 here. So now it says we're gonna rise up. We're going to rise up. Man, now I want to watch Hamilton. Ain't that a bitch? It says we're gonna pop over here 1621 at least, and then we'll test whether or not we can get through that line. But it looks like we're about to. Bitcoin continues to pump, by the way. So you know, we might see we might see this test coming very quickly, and who knows? But now, while we're on it, we're going to cover everything. But again, Volt. Volt is, if you want Volt information, if anybody's looking for Volt information, Jake is on live right now. So go over to Jake and check it out. Terra is trading at 22.43. Still in the channel, still getting positive, momentum. We had a little sell over here, and we had a lot of the fudders and the crybabies and the what do you call them? Oh yeah, Sida Maxis crying about terrarium because they found a reason to cry. Like, why would the marketing wallet be selling exactly $75,000? I don't know, dumbass. Probably because a listing on an exchange costs exactly $75,000. But I'm just guessing. Like, you know, come on. That's just insane. You know what I mean? I would think, yeah, 25%. Like, we're in such a small percentage right now. We're not even close to mass adoption, but not even that, just the ability to do it on a mass scale. It's not even about people actually doing it. It's about the ability to do it. Like, I think that that's the part that matters the most, is the ability to do it. So, you know, that's the deal. And then, look, I mean, there's been a lot of buy coming in. It seems like it's been a pretty good and pretty consistent stream. There's still there's still those weak hands. Look at this. For some reason, you have that's artificial. Does that seem artificial to you guys? Let's look at this wallet here. So we got A221 sells 8.28 at 22.39, and then buys 4.4 at 22.35. Like, that just seems like it's just chart pumping to me. That's a bunch in the Grove token. It's got 15, god damn, 15 trillion terrarium. Shiba Doge, Volt, Wolverine, Shirio. So, I mean, this is an active person. They got all the scam tokens in here too. It's like tons of scam tokens. So, it's somebody. But it seems very weird to be buying at that level. And I'm not digging in because, yeah, I don't really care. And I don't really care enough for that to be much of a thing. But also, by the way, even though it's very minor, Phantom is starting to move upwards. Bandex looks like it might be regaining just a little bit of steam. I think we're, as the market starts to move, we're going to start to get that pump back. And look over here, we see that this one kind of fell out of, and the 1 hour chart. Yeah, we can see here, like we should probably just toss that because we've created an absolutely new dynamic on this one. So let's get rid of that. And let's figure out where we are. So what are we looking at here? Boom, 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 boom. Are we open? Let's do this first. Let's go here and chart. We're here. So we're hitting that. And then we've got this here. So I guess we've really got kind of a bull pennant right now. So, if you have to call it something, then you're looking at you're looking at the bull pennant right now, and it's almost textbook, which would indicate to me that we're probably bouncing up to 24, hovering around here, back up around 24, 25. I mean, we might bust through support, obviously, but it looks like Bandex might have some stuff happening. Wagme Games. I did play some Egypt level today, and by the way, some asshole beat me. Which, now, that's not the part that bothers me, and that's not the reason that I would call him an asshole, because he beat me, but because he was able to attack my main tower without attacking my defensive towers. And I don't know how he did that, and that annoys the shit out of me. I feel like I should know how he did that. So now I got to ask somebody, and then I got to feel like an idiot, which, hey, listen, I'm already asking you guys out publicly in a recorded video, so obviously I don't really give a shit that much. But yeah, it seems kind of weird that he was able to just go straight to. Let's go check out Cult, by the way. B Roots was going off on Cult today. Really liking it. Now, I said they were having a problem here with this 14%, but look at this. They're up 14% on the day, 48.7%. They're doing everything they can to convince me that they know what the hell they're doing. And Mr. Omandius, whatever his name, Mr. O, seems to I mean, he seems to have, look, he's got a great community that seems to really care about the product and the Revolt product. So, I mean, you know, I have been around worse tokens than whatever's going on here. But whatever's going on here seems to be making people money. And I would rather be on the upside than on that Saitama side, like on the way down for all those months and months and months. So, you know, anybody who's in this, more power to you. As long as you got in down here, as long as you're in at this level, then, I mean, see where it takes you. I still don't agree with it. I'm still not on board that as an investment, it's the thing that I want to do. But B Roots told me if I don't put $1,000 in it, I'm an idiot. So, I mean, I suppose I'm gonna have to wait for a dip. Like, look, I'm not buying right now because I'm not buying anything right now other than Ethereum and maybe Bitcoin. But nope, not yet, not me. So, what else we got going on? Shiba Doge. I'm waiting for like that next move. By the way, it's at 34 million market cap. We saw this big high up here. Then we saw the correction. That's the correction that we were looking for. Then we saw it start to move back up. So it's moving with the market. And the fact that it's moving with the market is a pretty good sign. That should mean that it's going to have a healthy move at some point. So that's what you like to see. Those are definitely the things that you like to see. You know, Lorenzo, listen, I don't know what it's for, but my issue is this. My issue that it's not really any of my business. I don't run the project. And I'm not really entitled to all of the answers. I would feel like if it were important that I would be entitled to it, but I'm not. Look, if Terrarium takes somebody out to lunch and tries to swoon them in order to get them to make an investment into their ecosystem or something, and they're going to invest like millions of dollars, I don't need to see their receipt for that. Like, that's just, to me, that's one of those childish moves, and it's being exacerbated because there's a bunch of people with grease paint on their face and big red nose and these floppy shoes that are going, we need to know exactly what's going on. They don't really. Invest if you like it. Don't invest if you don't like it. You can ask the questions, but you're not entitled to answers. You're entitled to asking the question. They don't have to tell you what it is. But like the fact that you can look at it and see, well, that's 51 Ethereum. How much is that? And then you can go over here and you can look at the day that they sold it, and you can see when it was sold. And like, it's right here, and you can see it on here. And then, what was it? 1 day ago, right? You can see it right here, and you can be like, all right, well, how much did we get for it on that day? 77,000. You mean it was 75,000 plus enough in fees to pay for whatever else might be going on in the meantime? That seems pretty specific to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, that to me is just bogus nonsense. So, and if I'm wrong, it's cool. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. I'll never admit it, though. I'll still say I'm always right. You know what I mean? Go hard or go home. Mama didn't raise no bitch. You know what I mean? I'm the best. Send that over to me, man. If you've got something, Slay to earn, then send it over to me. You know, and I'll check it out, man. I don't mind playing some other games and checking them out. I did not. Did you guys, by any chance, did you see what happened to Ian Heinisch? Ian Heinisch yesterday got in on the MRIs. Now, you know, he's partnered with Marshall Rogan Inu, and he's been partnered with them for a little while. So yesterday, Ian opens up a couple of NFTs from Marshall Rogan Inu, and he gets one. He's like, I'm gonna give it to my wife. I'm showing it to my wife, and she's like, wow, that's like a ghost or something, right? And it turns out it's one of the rarest ones, because he posts a picture of it in the MRI chat, and they're like, oh my god, you got it, like it's a super rare. So he's like, well, what, you know, YOLO, and he throws it onto OpenSea for $9,000. He figured like, what the hell? And somebody bought it within 10 minutes. So he spent 0.1 ETH or $150 to open up. So he spent like $400 or $500 to open up 3 of them, and one of them sold for 9,000. How about that? Yes. Jay, it all works the same way. When you're wrapped, that means that you're wrapped 50%. You're on a 50-50 split with the price action. So, it's sometimes it's easier with the bigger numbers because you're looking at you're looking at the increases or something like that. But if you're looking at the BNB chain and you're looking at the price action on BNB, and let's say what's it, 267 right now. So let's call it 250. If it goes up to 500. That's 100% increase. That means the price of every one of the tokens would go up 50%. So yeah, it works the same way. So when your BNB goes up 10%, then your token over here goes up 5%. It's always works the same. Anytime you're wrapped with another token, remember it's one token here, one token here. You're just sharing it. So it looks like we're starting to get a little spike in the ETH price, which is usually pulled back over here. So it looks like we're at 1592 and 23,300 for Bitcoin. So we're still continuing to get a pump out of the Korean market, even though it's down 6 points right now. Here we go. So the China market has just opened up. It's after 7:30. So we got the Chinese market now in play, and we're minting. What are we at here? We're minting a green candle for this period of time, but we're going to zoom in just a little bit, take a look at the 3 minutes, and see here for the last 12 minutes. This is what we're looking at from 1930. That's kind of when you go on, let's just call it China time. The Chinese markets are kind of open right here. This is that first 30 minutes sell off or buy in, and it looks like they are in buying sentiment for the moment. Now, one of the weird things about it is even if they're in buying sentiment, here's what you're going to see. God damn it. 2 of them just went red. So for the first 30 minutes, you're going to see kind of like that. It'll go up a little bit, and then you'll see it start selling down for a little bit, and then all of a sudden you'll see it start going up, and it'll start going up, 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 and away. So that's generally what you see, and you can actually almost guarantee that we're going to correct just a tiny bit right now, because if you're drawing the wicks right here, you're going up, up, up. Now you're going around, and now you're going down, which means that we're moving to that downside. Now, it doesn't mean that it won't keep going up. Like you can see that over here. Like you get every once in a while, you'll start getting that little run, and then it'll come back down, and it's just might be just correcting a little bit. But also, when you see it start to round a little bit like this, then that does tend to mean you might be going down for at least a minute or two. These are 3 minute charts, so maybe you're going down for like 6, 7, 8 minutes, and it'll start moving back upwards, or it'll keep going. Like we're not at the end of that wick yet. What would be crazy is to see just some like enormous long positions start getting filled. You know what I mean? Like, could you imagine we're sitting here, we're talking about the Asian market, and we're looking at this thing, and then all of a sudden somebody goes in and they're like, we're going 500 million and we're taking a long position on Bitcoin right now, and then this thing just goes to the roof. You know what I mean? 500 million would start off a frenzy of buying, by the way. Whoops. That would be an incredible amount of buying happening in like a very short period of time. So, and by the way, there's struggle here. There's struggle here for no reason. Like at this 1589, we're obviously looking at this as a resistance spot because we can see it right here. But since we've gone past it and since we're over it, we're trying to make sure that we get on this support line and continue, because that doesn't exist when you look at the 5 minute. That doesn't exist when you look at the 15 minute. That doesn't exist when you look at the 30 minute. Like that is not a point of resistance. We're just seeing this in a dynamic sense because for the last, since 3 o'clock, we've been fighting around this area, but this is not a true pocket of resistance. So we should be able to easily break through here. But I mean, it's been a couple hours. So that's the good thing. And the bad thing is sometimes when you're forming more resistance or you're forming another little area, you got to fight your way through the area. And we're on the top side, by the way, of where the action is. The action is actually at 1585. And you can see that when you're looking over here, you can see like this is where the action is. And this is where all of the investment is. We're on the top side right now, where if we can just push up a little higher, then we should be able to get into more of a price discovery. And we're on the 3 minutes, so it's very difficult to kind of break it out. But if we go a little bit further out and consider the same position, then we might be finding, yeah, once you get up here a little bit more in the 16s, there's going to be a little bit more resistance happening. So, but I can tell you this, man, I am real excited to see where we end up going over the next few days. I get this feeling. I don't know, but you tell me what you guys think. Here's what I think is happening right now. What I think right now is going on is I think people are scared in the market. I think that they're a little bit nervous. All right, so Pulse Chain over here, he's got his listed for 34 ETH, and people have theirs listed for 50 to 99. But dude, Ian's did sell for 9,000 10 minutes later. I mean, dude, if you can make, look, you made $9,000 in a day, made your month. I mean, that's on a very bad month, that's survival right there. You know what I mean? Like, and if worse comes to worse and shit hits the fan, you could eat for a couple months off of that money. So, like, that's a pretty good position to be in. But, really, I think a lot of these tokens, I think a lot of these tokens are just very, very nervous right now. I think everybody is feeling, I want to call it pain and a nervous kind of sentiment. I mean, let's go down the list and we see people are working, right? But we only see, look, a couple of them that we see are very active communities, but not everybody's an active community. And we have a lot of tokens. So we have a lot of people who are kicked back, sitting back, just kind of waiting to see what happens. Like, imagine right now, full disclosure, you see me partnered with tokens, and I partner with tokens from time to time and do things for them, stuff like that. Send out tweets. I do a video for Volt every day. I do BTFA. I got a partnership with Phantom. I got a partnership with. So, but if you guys go back, you remember I was doing Strange Inu. I was doing for all those. I was doing that for all those different tokens for a while, and the market just went dry. But in the last week, Y Club reached out, and guys, if you are not looking at Y Club, you're out of your fucking mind right now. Because let me tell you, Y Club, look, Y Club had me produce a one video for them, a one-off video. Okay, so I am not obligated to promote them or anything beyond that one video. But let me tell you something. This thing is just out of control. When you watch this thing, like, this is absolutely nuts. This whole video is just, here we go. Let's fill the screen with it. I'm going to be stopping it too, by the way. Right there. Okay, so if you see this right here, then you know or should know that that is a reference to the Bored Ape Yacht Club right now, right? And that is a reference to the Bored Ape Yacht Club up there as well. And that is just a game board on the actual yacht. Not the actual yacht, but it's a metaverse yacht still. Okay, so not only their whole premise and their whole idea behind the reason that this thing is happening is, number one, they have these guys have their own metaverse that they're popping out with, and on the 30th of the month they're going to release this NFT collection. And let me tell you something, guys, this NFT collection, this is not for Jeets, and this is not for people who play. This is for real investors. That's the from Burr and Polo Marco, and I was in with the other dev, and then I was in with Trevor. Like, these guys are serious business and have put a vast amount of money into this. Like, listen, they're coming to market. They're almost coming to market with a fully functional everything happening right now. So, when you look at this, you're like, oh my God. So they've got these things lined up, ready to go, pop them into the metaverse, and you can actually get on. What's going on, Kings? What's happening, man? That you can actually play in the metaverse on your yacht, and it's a fully functioning yacht. And then there's going to be real world yachts that these things are going to have. Like, this thing is bonkers. It's just out of control what these guys are doing or intending to do. So, like, every time I see it, I'm just continuing to be impressed by what these guys have got going on. I mean, this, I'm not impressed by the ability to change the background and the scenery and stuff like that on it. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about all of the stuff that goes along with it, and how, they're trying to create their own NFT system so that you don't use OpenSea. They want you to do it inside their ecosystem. They want you to come in. They want to have fun. They want you to have things that you can do inside this whole thing. So really have to see it play out. We really have to see how it all kind of unfolds. But look at all the people who are involved in this program. Like, there are a lot of people who have been working for a while. And Yacht Mogul, by the way, is on Instagram. And let me show you. This is crazy. The Yacht Mogul. He has 1 million followers, and he's one of the investors and people. And this guy goes around promoting, and he buys in. Like, this is a guy. This is a yacht man that goes out here and he partners with people, and the shit that he gets to do and see is just absolutely out of control. So that's the type of guys that they've got in this little ecosystem that they're building. So, like, Jesus Christ, man, like I am so impressed with everything that's going on in the background. They were able to afford all this with their own money, like, out of pocket. YOLO, man. You know what I mean? By the way, okay, this is one more piece right here. This is one more piece, right? Oh, Yoy, if you haven't been paying attention, there's a new Phantom Chat. There's now a Phantom Chat 2.0, where, the guy that was running the Phantom Chat before, he was just kind of becoming, he's one of their guys. He's one of their guys. So, make what you want of it. But, like, he wasn't giving anybody admin rights or anything like that. So we made a new chat. So there's a Phantom Project 2.0 that you can go check out. It'll be on their website and everything pretty soon. But yeah, man, this is look, you guys saw the Phantom Project today. If you watched the video, this is one of them things, dude. I am stacking ETH, man. Dude, here I am right here. I'm 15 in for 23,957. I bought them at 1597. I'm waiting for the 1621. I'm actually just waiting. This is my long play at this point. I bought in on this way up here when I thought it was headed back down. It wasn't headed back down when I was going in, but it was like 9 o'clock in the morning, and we were doing the thing at the show and stuff like that. We had just wrapped up, and I was like, you know what? I'll just buy some right now and see what happens, because I did think that it was priming right at this point to take that next level up to about 1700, and then I was going to sell it about 1700. But then it corrected, and it did. You know what? And in retrospect, it did exactly what I've been talking about exactly what it was going to do, and then I was looking at it and I was like, Jesus Christ, why did I buy it at that price? I could have just waited a few hours and got it for $100 cheaper. But you know what? I'm an idiot. So there we go. I did idiot shit, and now I got to wait again for that big pump and that big price action. But I think we're going to get the big pump and the big price action, by the way, tonight. Like, it's starting to look like, we're getting towards the end here. We got 7 days left in our timer before we hit the 28th. So there's a sense of urgency for people who are trying to make a mini blow off top. And that's what I think we're about to see. I think we're about to see a mini blow off top that is going to take us up to right around, we're going to keep moving and keep moving, but somewhere around here, we're going to get, and look, it's going to be shit. Okay. So we're going to be somewhere in here before everything falls. And then when that happens, we're going to be, we might not go down. This is one of the reasons why I keep talking about that capitulation thing. Like, I think we may have already capitulated a little bit more than we might have wanted to. I don't know. Yeah, well, when King's back at Phantom, maybe we'll have a nice little pump. People are gonna cry about it, but who gives a shit, right? They were looking for something to cry about anyway. Okay. Oh, and by the way, guys, what would you think? By the way, so okay, this is I got a couple more minutes here, and then I'm going to wrap it up, and I'm going to see if I can't jump on Jake's show because I got something to announce. As a matter of fact, let me wrap it up right now. I'm going to go on to see if I can get on Joe. Let me go. Actually, let me just go look and see if Jake is on. Volt Inu NFT launch. All right. Yeah, I'm going to go over to Jake's show right now. So, guys, this is not financial advice. My name's Bleaves. I'm always right. I got a huge announcement let me rephrase this. This is a possible announcement. I might be doing some filming in a very short period of time. I might be in a movie. And if I'm in a movie, there's a specific thing that I'm going to do that involves Volt. So follow me over there if you want to go check that out. But it'll be just in a few minutes. So again, not financial advice. My name's Bleaves. I'm always right. You guys have a good night. And we will talk to you again tomorrow.